Las Vegas Raiders fans, big news just dropped. The Raiders have officially drafted a brand new quarterback in the third round, and let me tell you, this is exciting. The player in the spotlight? Darien Porter. Now, if you look back, Darien wasn't always a star. For most of his college career at Iowa State, he was more of a backup, barely seeing 120 snaps a season. Not exactly someone you'd expect to make headlines, right? But this past season, everything changed. Porter stepped up in a big way. While he wasn't seen as a top cornerback during the season, what really turned heads was his athletic performance during testing. And sometimes that's all it takes. Coaches know they can train skills, but raw talent, that's rare. Darien Porter fits the Raiders' defensive needs perfectly. Standing 6 feet, 3.5 inches tall and weighing 195 pounds, this guy blazed through the 40-yard dash with a crazy fast 4.34 seconds. His 10-yard split was an eye-popping 1.49 seconds. Truly elite numbers. Raiders fans, these are the kind of measurements you just don't find every day. Before listening to the latest news, make sure you subscribe to the channel like this video, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news. Even though his production on the field wasn't record-breaking, ranking 18th among his class, his athletic ability is off the charts. Some even say he could be the Darius Hayward-Bay of this draft class. All speed and crazy potential. Honestly, Raiders Nation, Darien Porter could be a hidden gem. The coaching staff now has the chance to mold him into something special. And with the Raiders' track record of turning athletic players into stars, the future looks really bright. The Las Vegas Raiders are clearly moving in a new direction, and it's all about getting bigger, faster, and tougher in the secondary. In the past, players like Trayvon Moehrig showed promise, but he was often better in man-to-man coverage than in a heavy zone system. Now, with the Raiders releasing players like Jack Jones and letting others move on, it's obvious. The team is building a new kind of defense. They're bringing in athletes like Jeremy Chinn, Isaiah Pola-Mao, and now Darien Porter, all towering around 6 feet 3 inches. This new trend isn't a coincidence. The Raiders seem to be modeling their defense after the famous Pete Carroll style. You know, the one that built the legendary Legion of Boom. Although Darien Porter didn't have eye-popping stats in college, his athletic ability is off the charts. He posted a stunning 9.9 RAS score, relative athletic score, out of 10, meaning he's one of the most athletic cornerbacks to come out since 1987. His size, speed, and explosiveness are rare, and the Raiders are betting on turning that raw talent into pure gold. Looking at the bigger picture, the Raiders have quietly been investing in their secondary over the last few years. Players like Jacorian Bennett and Cameron Richardson have shown growth. Now, with Darien Porter added to the mix, the Raiders have a young, athletic group that can be molded into something special. Of course, Porter still needs strong coaching. His potential is massive. He could become a shutdown corner in the NFL if he develops properly. But, like many athletic prospects, there's a risk. Without the right coaching and focus, he could just fade away. The good news? The Raiders are building a system perfectly suited for a player like him. It's clear, the Raiders aren't just adding players, they're building a new identity on defense. And Darien Porter might just be one of the key pieces of that future. Last season, Cameron Richardson showed flashes of being a top 10 cornerback, and Raiders fans are hoping that Darien Porter can follow that same path. If not this season, then definitely in the next. Porter's growth potential is impossible to ignore. One standout moment came during a game against UCF, where he faced a talented receiver named Kobe Hudson. Hudson, one of the better receivers coming out of college and a participant in the Hula Bowl, simply couldn't shake Porter. Play after play, Porter stuck to him like glue, making it nearly impossible for Hudson to create separation. That game alone showed just how high Porter's ceiling could be. Even though he wasn't widely recognized before the draft, performances like that caught the Raiders' attention. And now he's got a golden opportunity to shine in silver and black. Watching more of his college games, it's clear that Porter's best performance came against Iowa, where he played with tremendous confidence and control. He also had a strong showing against Houston, proving he's not just a one-game wonder. While consistency is still something he needs to work on, his upside is exciting. This past season, he grabbed 3 interceptions, a big jump for him considering he hadn't been a major playmaker in previous years. A big reason for his improvement? He was finally allowed to play to his strengths, focusing more on zone coverage. And here's the key stat. Porter earned a 91.1 grade in zone coverage according to Pro Football Focus. A clear sign he's built for the system the Raiders are trying to run. With the right coaching and patience, Darien Porter could grow into a critical piece of the Raiders' future defense. Darien Porter is shaping up to be a perfect fit for the Raiders' defense, especially when it comes to zone coverage. His numbers tell the story. While he struggles a bit in man-to-man situations, he's absolutely elite in zone, where he earned top marks. And with the Raiders leaning heavily into a zone-based system, Porter's strengths are going to be put on full display. Looking at the Raiders' secondary overall, things are starting to come together nicely. The team clearly needed to add talent at cornerback during the draft, and while they missed out on players like Will Johnson, landing Porter could turn out to be a hidden gem. Right now, Las Vegas has a strong mix of young talent. Jacorian Bennett continues to show flashes of star potential. Some even believe he could turn into a top 10 corner if his development continues. Cameron Richardson is another player to watch, loaded with upside and fitting perfectly into the new defensive system. And with veterans like Eric Stokes around to provide leadership, the Raiders have a balanced mix of youth and experience in the secondary. This coaching staff, whether it's Patrick Graham or the influence of Pete Carroll's style, knows how to mold corners into reliable starters. If Porter embraces the coaching and the system, he could be another major success story. The excitement around Darien Porter is real. The athleticism, the upside, the perfect fit for the scheme, it's all there. Now it's all about patience, hard work, and letting these young corners grow into the future backbone of the Raiders' defense. Darien Porter is a natural talent when it comes to zone coverage. The Raiders have placed him in the perfect system to show his skills. He struggles a bit in man-to-man coverage, but in zone, he looks elite. Now the Raiders' young and hungry secondary is starting to take shape. With players like Scorin Bennett and Cameron Richardson, competition will be fierce. Patrick Graham and Pete Carroll's defensive influence is clearly making a difference. Porter's speed and size could give the Raiders' defense a brand new energy. It's a risk, but the potential is so big, it feels like the right move. Watching Darien Porter grow will be very exciting for the fans. If he gets the right coaching and works hard, he could become a real star.